South Korea's exports so far this month are down, meaning the country's on course for another monthly trade deficit, the 7th in a row. That's because imports were up again, too. The deficit so far this month is already about $5 billion. Rae-hyun has more.
South Korea may be about to see the brakes being pulled on exports for the first time in 2 years. Data released by the Korea Customs Service on Friday shows that the country's exports in the first 20 days of October dropped 5.5% on year to a little over $32.4 billion. Specifically, exports of semiconductors dropped 12.8% on year, largely affected by the global economic slowdown. Should chip exports drop for this month as a whole, it would mark 3 consecutive months of decline. Exports of steel products, wireless telecommunication devices, and ships also plunged in the same period. Exports to China saw a drop of 16.3% on year, contributing to an overall export drop as China is the biggest export market for South Korea.
China is seeing slower economic growth now, as they have reported 0.4% of growth for the second quarter this year. This is discouraging consumption in the country and eventually leading to a drop in exports to China. And with the global economic slowdown, the export crisis is expected to deepen next year.
Meanwhile, imports increased 1.9% on year in the first 20 days of this month to $37.3 billion, largely driven by chips, gas, chip manufacturing equipment, and coal. The trade deficit hit $4.9 billion in the first 20 days of October, which is more than the same period the month before. South Korea has already seen a trade deficit for 6 straight months for the first time in 25 years. And if the country records a trade deficit for October as a whole, it could set the wheels in motion for further poor export performance down the road. Rae-hyun, Arirang News.